You say money is respect?
Yeah, that's right.
Dead men don't earn dada.
I don't know when I've ever heard anyone call money dada.
Right.
What's going on, guys? My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. Theme music. What's going on, guys? We are on the last movie of Fictional Sports Month.
Fictional Sports Month.
And we decided this movie is sort of like a movie we did 2 weeks earlier, but with a much more coherent plot.
Yes. But a much smaller budget.
Much smaller budget, but with relatively bigger stars than the theatrical release.
Yeah. There's so many comparisons, but they came out for like 4 years apart, so it's not like really one copied the other.
Yeah.
Or it's weirdly not like the big budget one copied the small budget one.
But then, like, when I was watching this movie, I could have seen this movie in the theater, and I could have seen Rollerball on TV.
That is true. That is true.
If you guys don't know what we're talking about, because obviously we haven't dropped any sort of hints, we are talking about 1998's ABC-produced television movie,
Yup.
Futuresport.
Futuresport.
Starring Dean Cain,
Vanessa
Williams, and Wesley Snipes.
As the dreadlocked Jamaican.
Yeah. And creator of Futuresport. So oddly enough, we were talking about it before we started the podcast that I was wondering why Wesley Snipes, who had just released probably the start of the Marvel success comic book movies, Blade, was in a TV movie.
Right, following the same year.
The same year. He probably had shot it in 1995. But then again, the same thing with Blade, right? Because back then, it took a lot longer to churn out these movies. I never really
realized that until, I think Chris Farley passed away. And then, 3 more Chris Farley movies came out after he was passed. Yeah. And it was like, wow, post-production is much longer than I expected.
Right. Well, especially for back then, now you can shoot a movie, edit it, and then release it within 2-3 months of shooting.
Right.
So yeah, we were just wondering about that, but then Colby had made the astute, I don't know how to follow that up. Point, I guess, is that maybe Wesley Snipes has been in trouble in the past with money.
Right, and tax evasion and stuff like that.
So he's probably just taking all sorts of roles that pays for his lifestyle. I don't know.
Right. Yeah.
But Wesley Snipes is not really the star of this film. It is the golden boy of TV from the 90s.
From Lois and Clark,
Dean Cain. Every time now, but see, you know who ruined Dean Cain for me? Was John Mulaney. Because he in one of his stand-ups, he talks about Dean Cain being in a episode of Law and Order as a rapist.
Oh.
And he was like, you know what I wish, during the episode, though, was, when they're doing the lineup, if the actress who was playing the victim was just like, is that Dean Cain? And ever since then, it's just, been bad. And then, Dean Cain nowadays sort of just looks a little sleazy.
He does, yeah. I think he had that super wholesome,
clean cut, image.
Right from Superman and everything. Yeah. And then he's trying to break out of it because he's in a bunch of sci-fi movies. He's trying to do the bad guy and yes, I say Sci-Fi Channel movies, most of which you probably could watch on Tubi.
Tubi is a big lover of sci-fi.
This movie was actually also on Tubi.
Oh, see, I probably should have watched. I watched it. It was on YouTube, So I watched it, but I should have watched it on Tubi because it was probably a much more clear resolution. Darn it.
I did watch it on YouTube, and then I got home and I was like, I want to let me watch some of this again, and then YouTube wasn't coming up on my TV, and I didn't want to go watch it on my computer because that was all the way in the other room, and I was like, I wonder if Tubi, and it did, and I was like, what? Tubi for the win.
I feel like Tubi has a lot of just TV movies on there.
Yeah,
but except for you know what? You know who does still make TV movies? Is Lifetime.
Oh, yes.
But they're all so terrible for me. I think I tried to watch one. It was about the Craigslist killer. And I was
okay.
I was like, oh, there's barely any murder in here. But all right, let's get into what the movie is about, and then we could talk about it even more after. So the year is 2025. The
distant future.
Well, before back then it was.
Right.
At least this one didn't have any false advertisement like flying cars. But they did have hoverboards, so I'm kind of upset about that.
I guess there is hoverboards, but they just never got big. People were like, I want wheels.
No, I have always wanted to roam around the city like Silver Surfer. But it's in the distant year of 2025. The state of the world is a little confusing because there's these alliances with the Pacific Rim and North America, and so we get a opening shot of these Hawaiian rebels who I guess wants to break free from the North American control.
Yeah.
And they have broken into Louisiana, the Louisiana Stadium, trying to kidnap the biggest star of Futuresport, which is the Pharaoh.
Right.
Trey something, who will just be called by his real name, Dean Cain. Apparently, the terrorist that's leading the group is focusing on Dean Cain.
Because he's the biggest sports star in the world.
I guess, yeah. So I guess it would just be
Futuresport is the biggest sport in the world.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. It is. We see towards the end of the movie that they're playing against Croatia or something. So it does seem like a worldwide sport.
Yeah.
And so, as they're trying to get ready to abduct him, Dean Cain has to go downstairs after having relations with his current girlfriend to then interview with his ex-girlfriend about the upcoming World Championship game.
Right.
But during this time, Wesley Snipes is introduced to Vanessa Williams first to talk about. It seems like he's a community leader.
Yeah.
And he wants to have Futuresport, what he created, give back to the community that he created it in.
Right. And they call it. It's basically the ghetto, but they call it the downtown or
it's the D box or something like that.
Yeah,
which was weird. But his whole objective when he created Futuresport was for rival gangs to, instead of committing violence and fighting with each other, is to settle it through a sport.
Right. And
whoever wins type of deal, which is it's a good alternative to gang violence, right? But instead of being able to complete his interview with Vanessa Williams, Dean Cain comes down out of the elevator, and he's just the biggest douchiest star.
Yeah.
Of it all.
Yeah, because he's the big guy, so everything revolves around him. They just cut the interview short. Everybody just drops what they're doing, and they're just all "Let's swarm Superman."
Dean Cain. So Vanessa Williams tries to start the interview with him, but then it's misinformation. He's just he attacks Vanessa Williams' character in there, and they halt recording.
Yeah.
And say you got it all wrong in your book, by the way. And he's like, oh, you read my book. But before they can go into it any further, the Hawaiian terrorists come in, start shooting the place, and demand Dean Cain and Vanessa Williams.
Yep.
And in the most outlandish things I've seen since Air Bud, Dean Cain and his team, the LA Rush, managed to stave off this terrorist attack.
Right, it's a fun, I can't fight them, but if I had my hoverboard and a ball, we could totally beat these guys. And his, like, tech roadie girl is like, here's your hoverboard and a ball. And it's like, uh-oh, it's go time. And so it's weirdly reminiscent of the beginning of the movie Flash, where Flash is like, Ming the Merciless is killing everybody, and then somebody throws him like something that looks like a football, and then he like manages to like take out all the guards. And
it's like their version of Captain America's shield.
Right. Yeah.
The only one that could have really done damage is probably the guy who played his bodyguard in the game, Berserk, because he had like a spear.
Yes.
That he could at least throw at one person.
Right.
But yeah, him and his team, the LA Rush, are able to fight off these Hawaiian terrorists until like security comes and pushes them back.
Right.
And so they get ready for the game. Dean Cain is obviously an old friends with Wesley Snipes. Wesley is a little bit disappointed in Dean Cain because he went pro.
Right, because they played together in the ghetto or in the D-box or whatever they called it, and so they kind of, this was something that was supposed to, like, you know, a sport to unify people, and now all of a sudden it's like this big, it's becoming this big money grab like old sports used to be. Yeah,
and unfortunately, to Wesley Snipes' point is that even though he created it, he's getting maybe $10,000 a month versus, or like, you know, and he puts that into the community versus what he should be getting is like a portion of everything that Futuresport's all about.
Right.
And so Wesley Snipes' character in this entire movie, it's a little bit of he's playing both sides.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because he doesn't care what flag goes over Hawaii as long as he can take care of his community or the people that he's taking care of. And so he is sort of like a good and bad guy in this movie, but not really bad for the most part. He's like a double agent.
Yeah, right. He's good guy, bad guy, but all for his own purpose, which is good separate from the main characters. Yeah.
Right. And so, but they still have some sort of friendly relationship, which is nice. You know, there's not any big real animosity. I mean, of course, anyone would be sad as soon as you like leave the community, type of deal. But they go into the game. They're playing the Futuresport game. Is actually pretty cool. Like there's like hoverboard. There's like flyers who are on hoverboards.
Yep.
And then you got some defensive guys on inline, which I was really upset that it wasn't a hover line. You know?
Oh, that would have been, I guess from this budget, that would have been difficult.
Right. And they don't really explain a good amount of the game in this. You kind of just watch it like they do a jump ball, and then they just try to put this tiny like baseball like ball into a goal.
Yeah.
And it's pretty cool. Like, you know, the game itself is actually pretty cool. Probably dangerous. Don't know why there's people with spears. You know,
you're right. It doesn't really say like if they had like spears, but then they had like a little ball catchy thing, like a lacrosse thing. Yeah. That would have made more sense because then you're like a blocker.
Yeah.
But no, you're more just like I'm gonna knock you off your hoverboard.
Yeah. But then, like, the spear is, like, pointed at the end. So it's just, like, I'm pretty sure if someone got mad enough.
Yeah.
And, like, later on, you do see that they play street rules after that.
Right.
Like, towards the last game. And it's a much more brutal sport. A little reminiscent of Rollerball, except that there's no motorcycles.
Yes, yeah.
But as they're playing the game, it's a pretty close game for the finals. Like championship game. And Dean Cain, one of the cool things about the game though is that it really does highlight teamwork over become an all-star, right, because the ball does become electrified if you hold it for more than 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Which is also dangerous.
It seems like it.
But then it also seems like they're holding the ball for a lot longer than 5 seconds. But Dean Cain who is the biggest star in the game, has a little bit of a ball hog situation, and it costs them the game.
Right, because because in his head from his girlfriend, who's like also his PR manager, everybody's kind of the things they do revolve around their PR number. And so, like, the higher your number, probably the higher you get paid, or the higher, the more advertisements you can be in, or whatever. But he knows, like, if he makes the winning score, then his PR number is going to jump by like 10 or 15 points, or whatever. So he's,
and then like he was planning to, like, later we find out he's planning to propose to his PR manager after that. But he ends up costing them the game because he doesn't want to pass to his teammate who was open and available to make the last shot. And then he goes on to the biggest douchebag thing to do, and is to blame everybody else.
Right.
But they sort of assume, like, you know, at this point, Dean Cain's stock has sort of fallen. LA hates him because LA hates it when you don't win for that city. I mean, you know,
that are like, you suck. His like sponsors are like dropping him, stuff like that, and he's pretty depressed. But he's got a message from Vanessa Williams, which was the reporter from the beginning of the game, and she wants to talk to him, and so he's like, hey, I need somebody to cheer me up. Has her come over. They meet in the downtown, watching some kids play Futuresport in like the ghetto.
Yeah.
And they start talking, and she's like, hey, he's like, hey, why did we ever break up? Is it because, you know, I got too popular? And she's like, well, it was kind of like you wanted to become famous, so you went one way, and I wanted to become this star reporter, so I went the other way, and we just kind of separate paths. But she starts talking about how her office won't let her do political pieces, and she obviously wants to very much talk about the Hawaiian Revolutionary Army or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And she's like, but if I could do like a fluff piece on you, and since you're like a little bit Hawaiian, and you could say how much you disagree with the Hawaiian Liberation Army, then I could like pull my political story into your popularity fluff piece. Yeah. And it kind of goes from there, and then that's when he realizes, after talking to Wesley Snipes, after talking to his coach, and he and his coach have like a little conversation about teamwork, and then going back down there and seeing the kids play, where he's like, you know what if I do the radical thing of, instead of having the Americas versus the Asias in this battle over who gets control of Hawaii, what if I propose America sports game, a Futuresport versus Asia Futuresport, and the winner gets Hawaii, and that way there won't be a war, and you know, we could just get rid of this liberation army, and you know, now it's like we're playing for territory instead of all these kids going to battle and dying.
Yeah,
they can support their team, and the world will change.
So like, one of the only issues I had with the film, right, like up to this point, is that we don't know why like Hawaii is so against being an American territory.
Right. And it seems like most of Hawaii doesn't care. Like, I mean, even like Wesley Snipes says that, he's like they don't care what flag flies over them. But there's just some of the political people are like, I guess America's too
nosy.
Yeah,
I think. But then when has America not been too nosy?
It is kind of funny though, because like a couple of years ago I went to Hawaii, and it is as many Asian people as as like white people.
Yeah.
Or as like American people. And it is a major tourist spot for both, coming in from Asia and from America. So I guess somebody just saw that and was like, what if these two countries fought over Hawaii?
Well, like, I know, like, one of the only issues that Hawaii has with, like, like white people, or haoles as they call them, is that, like, I know they own like one of the islands. Like, there's like this rich billionaire guy that just owns an island in Hawaii, and he prohibits anybody from going on there or something like that. So I think that's one of the major issues. Again, I'm not Hawaiian. I don't know a lot of Hawaii's history. This is just something like my friends have told me. That's right. That the Hawaiians hate. So. But I mean, other than that, it doesn't. I don't know if it's that bad.
They got beautiful beaches,
right? And really good food. But yeah, so Dean Cain does propose this whole situation as an alternative to war, which is much more favorable to Wesley Snipes also, because he knows that if they do go to war, a lot of the kids from the D box are going to end up having to be the ones on the front lines.
Right.
But the Hawaiian Liberation Army is like, that's good. We don't want a lot of people to die also, but we will kill as much people as we need to right now to win this game.
Yeah.
Because the political parties have already co-signed onto this deal where whoever wins the sport gets Hawaii.
Right. And the one weird twist is the one girl from Korea.
No, Singapore.
Yeah. On the
LA Rush.
On the LA Rush, she gets pulled to go to the other team because she came from
Singapore,
the other side of the other side of Hawaii.
Well, yeah. So like they have an alliance. So she's forced to play for the Pacific Rim team. It wasn't something that she had chose. But then we also have this Kano-looking Australian guy who, I guess it doesn't matter to him. He just wants to hurt like everybody else.
Yeah. He's got like little like bars like built into his face covering one of his eyes.
It's so whack.
He's missing his eyebrow on the other side.
Like it's weird because there is just undiscovered hatred that he has. They never delve into why he hates Dean Cain so much.
Right. And there's also like a between him and the defense guy.
Yeah.
On the LA Rush. They have like an ongoing beef that's from the very first game. Like you could tell that it's something that's been going on. Like,
well, like, enforcer versus enforcer. It's the same thing you have in hockey. I mean, like, it's funny though because like for some reason then we get pulled into this Japanese guy who was on the Asia team that like had no part of this until he just got drafted into that team.
Yeah.
And so everyone is preparing to go to this to finish this game out, for territories. Dean Cain has a change of heart. All of a sudden, he becomes a much more better person. Right. After talking to Vanessa Williams, I suppose. And he tries to tell his other teammates, like, hey, guys, I'm not going to be a ball hog no more. Everyone's doubting him because they're like, you're just doing this for PR points. You're not a good person. I've been on your team for long enough to know that you're a shitty person. But he's like, no, I fired my PR firm, so I don't really care about PR points right now, But he gets along really well with his coach. Right. He asked his coach to be the coach for this national team.
Yeah. It's basically like the all-star teams now.
Yeah, but unfortunately, his coach is assassinated by the Hawaiian Liberation Army.
Yes.
By a mechanical cybernetic spider.
Which are awesome. They're in here a couple times in this movie, and every time I see them, I'm like, oh, why is that not a real thing? Those are so cool. They're they're small, but they're.
I think they are a real thing. I remember I used to buy a comic called Think Tank.
Okay.
And they would actually there's actual like in the back of the comic, it would actually show you like the real things in the comic, and there is a bee that is also a drone,
Okay.
but the size of a bee. So I'm pretty sure that spider thing is real now.
It probably is.
But after that happens, Dean Cain decides, oh, I have to lead this team. And again, they're like, nah, bro, you're just trying to get your PR points. And he's like, I told you guys I don't have a PR firm anymore. You know, and this team needs a coach, and no one wants to do it with the fear of being assassinated.
Right.
And, you know, and Dean Cain being one of the older... like probably one of the first generation people of Futuresport. He is on the tail end of his career.
Yeah.
And ends up becoming the player coach because he has the most experience. One of the guys that's on the national team with him is his rival.
Right, the new hot rookie.
Yeah, the new hot rookie who looks just as old as Dean Cain. But after, you know, like earlier in the movie, they get punished by the coach, and then they become more friendly towards that time. And so... they have a better like building of relationships in this movie where like, oh, okay, they all care about each other. And so before the game happens, Dean Cain's girlfriend Vanessa Williams gets kidnapped by the Hawaiian Liberation Army.
Yes.
And he's like, oh, I have to go, I'll deal with this problem. And then his team is like, nah, oh captain, my captain moment. and again, in the most outlandish thing ever, This sports team throttles an entire terrorist organization
with their sports skills.
I know the equipment manager is just using her computer to hit people over the head with a hoverboard.
Yep.
But what's it called? Wesley Snipes does end up helping him because he didn't agree to have people die.
Yeah.
This whole
He was like, "Hey, I will help you win this war as long as nobody gets hurt." And the terrorists are like, "Well, the war's not going to happen, so no one's going to get hurt except for the people we kill to make sure our team wins."
Yeah. So they kidnap Vanessa Williams to make Dean Cain forfeit the match.
Yep.
Dean Cain's like, "No, this is too important," and then his whole team goes. They have this big scuffle in this warehouse. One girl gets shot in the shoulder, but like all the guns in here seem like they're like phaser guns, like all set to stun or something.
Right. Well, it's because it's the 2025, so it's the distant future where they don't have to use real rifles and
all guns are gonna be just stun guns, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Set phasers to stun. But yeah, they end up getting out of there. They do the final match, which unfortunately is only like maybe like 8 to 10 minutes of like the
yeah.
You know, we only really get 2 sports moments in this whole thing, and so the match is pretty brutal. We have the guy from Australia just like he breaks some guy's leg,
right,
which is like whoa, like super unwarranted. Like
yeah, because their coach is like, he's like, oh well, you know, go out there and break them, and he makes a joke about like. He's like, oh, they're like, oh, hey, you let him score. And he's like, yeah, but I broke him. And pretty soon they won't have enough players left to score.
Which I guess is the street rules. I don't know.
Yeah.
But Wesley Snipes, he suits up. He's like, you guys are running out of players. And the moment he steps in there, he takes out the guy from Australia.
Right.
Like
super ninja style.
Super brutal. And then he whispers in his ears like, I created street style.
And with his bow staff abilities.
Right. Oh man, that guy is super bloody too. Like
yeah.
Just a pool of blood after getting knocked out. And then the girl from Singapore and the guy from Japan are just like tell the rest of the team we're just going to be playing regular.
Right.
You know,
let's keep it clean.
Yeah, let's keep it clean. I mean, like obviously they're going to be a little like there's going to be a little bit more roughness than a regular standard game, but it's not going to be like what the Australian dude was doing.
Right.
Right. And so at the game, even with the clean game, it's a pretty tight score. They're like 65-65. And of course, in the most pivotal moment, Dean Cain with the ball in his hand, going for the last score.
Yep.
But decides to pass it to the young gun.
Yep. He goes and gets the assist.
Right, because his whole goal throughout the thing was to rack up the most assists instead of the most points.
Right, because once the coach died, they're like, oh, now they're going to know that I'm going to call all the plays, and since I'm such a selfish ball hog, everybody's going to assume I'm going to make all the points. Yeah. So if I just only assist, then you guys are always going to be free to score.
Yeah, and it's sort of him probably after this whole like scuffle of like territory games. He's gonna go into like maybe his like last season, but yeah, what's it called? North America, of course, ends up winning Hawaii, and then the terrorist organization from Hawaii is squashed. They're all in jail now.
Yep.
And then we get to the end of the film where there's a new season of the LA Rush. His little hotshot guy like rival is now on the LA Rush.
Yeah.
The girl from Singapore is back. He's now the player and coach. And I'm pretty sure after this season, he's just going to be the coach.
Right, because he's already having back problems that they kind of bring up a number of times throughout the...
That's such an old man problem. Oh, my back. It's like the scariest thing is like one day you wake up and you're like, oh, my back is sore. Oh, fuck, I'm so old.
Yep.
But yeah,
I've had those days.
I know. I think like the moment after I turned 30, I started having those days more often, and but yeah, and then the movie sort of just ends at that point. Hawaii is now permanently a part of North America.
Yep.
The new season of the LA Rush starts, and it's a happy ending. Yay!
Yay!
Kobe, did you have any parts that you want to talk about specifically, or like did you have any favorite parts of the movie?
So dumb. Like my two favorite things in the movie have nothing to do with the sport at all. I thought the spiders were awesome. Like for being like computer animated from 1998, they were well done. Like they didn't look like they came in afterwards and put a CG spider. So they were well done. And then his house had like the built-in AI system, and it was just snarky and just like sassed him and like it was kind of Jarvis, but even better.
I felt like it was more Alfred.
Yes. If Jarvis was Alfred.
Right, exactly. Oh yeah, that was fun. That was a funny part too. Like I like there's like small little like indications of the future, like FaceTiming. Mm-hmm. We got that. Man, but I'm really just waiting for a hoverboard.
Because I heard they were coming after Back to the Future.
Right?
And that was now 20 years ago?
Back to the Future?
Yeah.
Or the hoverboard from Back to the Future?
The hoverboard from Back to the Future.
No, that was, so I think Back to the Future 2, I believe. Yeah, 2 is when he went to 2015.
Yeah.
Or something. So 5 years, we're already past 5 years. So we have 5 more years to catch up to Futuresport.
Yes.
Oh man, yeah. Like the funny thing in here is that like you can tell it's a '90s movie by the fighting.
They did not necessarily hire the highest quality
stunt coordinator.
Yeah.
Well, like the thing is, you could have just had Wesley Snipes do it,
right?
Because he produced the film,
and the fight scenes he's in are really good.
That's what
Wesley
Snipes.
Yeah, he is he may not know how to really fight, but he at least knows how to movie fight.
I thought he knew how to fight. No,
he might. I don't know.
I know really, like Michael Jai White, the guy who played Spawn, knows how to fight. That dude is huge.
And apparently David Seagal really knows how to fight.
Steven Seagal?
Steven Seagal. Yeah, and his brother David. I don't know why I said David.
Well, yeah, of course, because Steven Seagal is he's like a classically trained Aikido, like black belt.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but none of the things that he does in the movies is Aikido at all.
No, not at all. Nope.
So yeah, like that's one of the things that was like kind of funny to me. Like when you see Dean Cain fight, it's pretty prevalent that he's still used to like fighting like he's Superman.
Yes,
because he's really just like hitting these guys once in the most awkward way, and it just looks like
it kind of works because it's kind of like he says he can't fight, but he can play the sport really well.
Yeah.
And almost every time he's getting beat up until somebody passes him the ball, and then he uses the ball as his weapon to defeat his opponent.
So one of the things that we did learn about the sport, though, is if you throw the ball in from a distance, it's 1 point. But if you slam dunk it, it's 3 points.
3 points.
That's how it always should be.
Right.
A slam dunk should be what's it called? 2.5 points.
It would make it fun.
That way, when I go to sports books and some teams are up 0.5, I know who's winning. Oh, I miss sports right now. Oh man! One of the things that was funny also to me was Wesley Snipes' Jamaican accent.
It was amazingly bad, but amazingly good at the same time. It felt like when Nicolas Cage tries to do an accent and just misses it, but like it just enhances the greatness of that part of the movie. That's what this was. Yeah.
Well, I mean, this was definitely better than Nicolas Cage's vampire kiss accent. You know, if you guys haven't seen that episode yet or that movie,
it's a must.
It's hilarious.
It's a must. Yeah.
But at least Wesley Snipes stuck to this terrible Jamaican accent pretty well.
Right. Yes, because you get that sometimes where somebody starts with an accent and then it just fades away, and then by the end of the movie, there's no accent.
It's like that episode of Friends where Ross, when he's first teaching at the college, he has a strong British accent, and then he starts to slowly fade it out, and they're like, "What's wrong with your accent, bro?" And then he just kicks it way back high again. Oh man, I would say Dean Cain's performance in here is very fitting for a TV movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he did. I don't think he did bad. I also don't think he did exceptionally well. Do you think Dean Cain could have, if he had left TV at the right time, could have been in movies? Or
I think you would have to find the movies that fit him. Mm-hmm. Because I don't think he's a super versatile actor. So I think you'd really have to put him in specific parts. Not that I have any of those in mind. I wasn't like, hey, he would have been great in The Notebook. But I think that his range of acting is probably not that extensive.
So he's good enough for TV, but not good enough to be a leading man in a movie.
Right.
See, so the only role I ever wanted to see Dean Cain in a movie was for him to be Superman's dad.
Oh, something like that. Yeah.
And yeah,
would have worked.
Yeah, so Dean Cain is old enough to of course he's old enough, but he's old enough now to just play these dad characters.
Yeah.
But I could see him being in Superman's dad, or I could also see him playing the guy from Lovely Bones, who's a pedophile. I don't know, and it's weird to say because I grew up watching Lois and Lane. It's one of the shows I used to watch as a kid.
Right.
And
me too.
And Dean Cain has such a clean cut, but I think because as he got older, he got a little bit more stockier, and he started having this dad bod. I know he was in episodes of Supergirl as Kara's dad.
Yes.
Or her Earth dad.
Right.
Which was a nice little callback. That's why they did it. But yeah, I think Dean Cain, as far as being a leading man, it's already way past its prime. Because there's still actors like Richard Gere who could still be a leading man.
Oh yes, absolutely, yeah.
George Clooney still leading man, and now Ryan Reynolds. I seen him without like him dyeing his hair. He's old, like not old, but like
yeah.
So, but yeah, Dean Cain. I think it's good that he's found a niche in like TV movies, sci-fi movies.
Yeah, and I'm like, he still gets work. But it's just not.
It's not like his '90s work,
right?
And for Vanessa Williams, I've never really seen enough of her work to really comment on how well she could have done.
The role she was in on this is also a very typical role for her.
Oh, okay.
Like she played this kind of part in lots of things where she wasn't necessarily the star, but she was just a supporter to the star.
Yeah.
But got lots of screen time.
Mm-hmm. And unfortunately, the leader of the Hawaiian faction was not a Hawaiian.
He was not Hawaiian.
But he was the dad from Teen Wolf, who was a hunter. That's how I recognize him. And it's like it's such a shame, but I guess you just gotta really think about the times where like they weren't so strong on casting the appropriate like people for appropriate roles. Because in this one, I mean, if you're gonna be like, don't watch it if you get like really upset at like social justice things. You just have to like put your mind frame for like an old movie like this, because he has like the Hawaiian tattoo on his face, but you can clearly see he's white.
Oh yeah, that was
So but like other than that, like he's a decent actor in Teen Wolf. I like him in Teen Wolf. In this one, not so.
Yeah, maybe they didn't develop him enough or something. But he's pretty weakly written character.
Yeah, what he needed was a who's the bad guy from the first Superman movie, General Zod?
Yes,
he needed a General Zod monologue.
Oh, yes,
where he would explain all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think it was just unfortunate that they really didn't give him, who was like the main antagonist for the film, any sort of character development.
I agree. Yeah, and they gave him the face tattoo, so like you wanted him to be menacing.
Yeah,
and then he wasn't.
I mean, like the things that he was doing was menacing, but then like it didn't really give him any room to display how menacing he was. Yeah, which is unfortunate. And then Wesley Snipes, he did his thing.
He sniped it up.
He had some good fight scenes. It's cool. Like they do a little bit of backstory on Dean Cain, because it explains that he was the top rookie of the year when he was in basketball, which is also hilarious to me, seeing Dean Cain play basketball.
Yeah, especially once he like stands next to the rookie that is gonna, for Futuresport, who's a good foot taller than him.
Like, I guess he was a point guard. I'm pretty sure that's what he was. But it also tells you the story about how after all the national sports had shut down for some reason, maybe they just all weren't making money anymore.
They all got corrupt.
They all got corrupt.
They said point shaving. All the major sports were point shaving and went corrupt.
Okay. So after that, he finds himself in the D box, and he learns Futuresport from Wesley Snipes, who after that, and then I think the whole thing started when Vanessa Williams had to go down there to see that like this person, Wesley Snipes, has single-handedly almost ended gang violence into just a sport, and the piece was really supposed to be about him,
right?
But then it started to focus on Dean Cain because he was a
former celebrity, former
celebrity, former athlete, and then they're like, "Oh, what's this sport?" And then corporations started to want to build up on that sport. Yeah, and then that's how the sport happens.
Right. It's the same issue, the same problems as in our previous one, basketball.
I know. But basketball had a lot more fun things in it, like trash talking.
Yeah.
The Psych Out is probably the best thing ever in a fictional sport movie I've seen this whole month. Also, like, man, so I think it would be really cool to play this game, but also just really hard. Because that goal is not...
It is small.
Yeah. It is small. Like, I don't know how anyone's throwing it, and
throw
it's only
like
1 point.
Like a 5-inch ball and do like a 6-inch hole.
That's what she said. Yeah, no, it is... Like, at least Rollerball, you just had to get it in that little gong thing.
Yeah, right. Hit
This
the gong hard enough to make the fireworks go off.
Yeah, but this one, it's a really rough sport, I think. I guess I would probably watch it. I would watch it.
I would totally watch this.
There used to be that one sport on Spike TV. I forgot what it used to be called. Where it was a basketball, but at the end of, like, sort of towards the near the baskets, they had trampolines.
Oh,
where
yes.
you could dunk. And that one was pretty brutal too.
And MTV had a basketball thing where there was a hoop that was like 10 feet above the regular hoop.
Yeah.
And that was the 10-point shot. So if you made it, like, if you did like this really high shot, you made it in the high hoop, it was like a 10-point shot.
So, I mean, definitely America is always looking for more sports to watch. But, like, something as brutal as this, I mean, definitely would probably be easily watchable.
Right.
Because, I mean, people love watching hockey.
Yeah, this was like, it's like hockey plus roller derby plus American Gladiator. Oh, I'm old. So not American Gladiator.
Well, no, American Gladiator came back out.
Titan.
Or was that what it's called now?
Titan
Games?
It's the one that's hosted by The Rock.
Oh, wait, is that Gladiator-esque?
It's Gladiator-esque.
See, I'd never want to put myself in a position where a guy named Laser is going to knock me out.
American Gladiator was pretty brutal. That was...
Yeah. Like, it's like they don't want to give these normal, everyday accountants and grocery store owners and stuff like that a chance. Because even, like, the girls were super jacked.
Yeah.
And it just sounded like Ben Stiller's team from Dodgeball. Laser, Blazer, and my European consort, Olga. But, yeah, do you think... So, like, if this game was real super popular...
it would at
gimmick.
least 1 year super popular, and then maybe fade away. I don't know if it would stick.
Yeah, it would probably be like American Ninja.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, I've been a paid audience member for.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't even get to watch it. They're like, hey, if people like start leaving, you can come in. But if not, just stay right here on the curb. I didn't even get to see anyone. And then one of the days that I got to do it, I didn't even see anyone do a run, which sucks.
So disappointing.
Right? So yeah, because if this sport did come out this year, it doesn't have that long-standing tradition, right?
Right. But at this point, if this comes out and no major sports teams are playing because of the quarantine, COVID, social distancing thing, I could see this taking off.
Yeah, but then you couldn't play this game either because of social distancing.
Whatever.
I guess you know what you could if everyone had to be in that little hamster bubble.
4 people on each team on the field. That way you're under 10. You're allowed to do it.
2-on-2? Oh, 4-on-4?
You're not breaking the 10-person per table rule.
Oh, and then everybody has to be like checked and everything before the game started.
Yep.
Man, but it's so awkward watching sports right now. Like, I mean, like, I know WWE is like performing.
Oh, I keep trying, but it is rough to watch with no audience. You look like you're just watching like practice matches.
Yeah.
And they still get up on the ring and like play to the audience that isn't there. It's
well, I mean, it's hard to break out a routine, right?
Right.
And
But it's
your persona.
I miss audiences.
because they add something to it. I mean, even for any sports, an audience will push you harder, make you go into the zone. Like if if you're watching people play basketball, like it's a if it's like the Lakers versus I don't know, Portland Trail Blazers, and there's no crowd, some of them might just give up halfway and stop trying.
Right. It's dumb like you say that, but it's like I swam in high school, and even just to have like one random team member or fan at the end of your 50 be there, like, and you go to take that last breath as you're turning, to have that one person be like, go, and you hear that, it like you're like, yes, I'm gonna go, where like if not, you're like, you start getting into this like, I'm doing laps, kind of. I'm just swimming.
Yeah, so like I did try to watch, like, I think it was a Monday Night Raw one day. Like, it was just on, and I was like, whatever, there's nothing else to watch. I don't know any of the wrestlers anymore, but then, like, just watching it without the crowd.
See, and I watched it all the time, and I keep trying, and unfortunately witnessed that. The Titan Games is now on Monday also, and I keep, like, I watch it for a little bit, and I'm like, I can't get into it with no crowd. Yeah. And then I go Titan Games. I'm like, oh, Titan Games. They must have been filmed before because there's a crowd. Yeah. And everybody's cheering and everything, and it's a fun game.
Yeah, see. So we can't...
And it's hosted by The Rock, which is weird that The Rock is hosting a sports game against its old WWE big Monday nights.
Well, money talks.
That's so true. So true.
And then plus there's more reruns of like Monday Night Raw. You could just watch it after the original broadcast.
That's true too. You get it on Hulu.
Right. So we're coming up to our hour. We have to go to our reviews. So or like our ratings. Yeah. So if you guys haven't been with us before, this is your first episode. We do ratings in 4 ways. We have Stream It, DVD It, Blu-ray It, and Ultimate Box Collection. I know it's weird. But we really we're not really the type to say no to a movie. Every movie needs a chance. Right,
exactly. Yeah, if a movie's really that bad, we're not going to watch it, or we're not going to review it. We want to show the love to the lesser known movies.
Right.
Being on this on Tubi, I think everybody should spend an hour and a half watching this. Definitely Tubi it up. Right. I'd probably buy this on DVD.
It's fun enough for you.
Fun enough. Definitely alternate sport movie. Kind of throw it on. It's a good background thing. There's enough of the sport going on, and the story is minimal enough that
that warrants a $4.99 bin buy.
Exactly. You don't have to necessarily put 100% attention into it.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason to necessarily upgrade to a Blu-ray on this. Yeah. It's 89 of TV film effects, so I don't think you're going to get anything extra. It may make it look worse as they clean it up.
Right, more pixelated. So I don't know if you guys want to go into that. I'm probably in the same boat with Kobe. I'm more leaning towards Stream It, but if it was like on a $4.99 bin buy and I had room in my home, because DVDs take space.
They do.
I used to have it in my computer room where we record our episodes, but I just like I need the shelf space for something else.
Yep.
So, but definitely, if I could have the living room to myself, I would definitely just put it on there, and then people are gonna be like, "What's Futuresport?" I was like, "Oh, I guess we're about to find out." It's with Dean Cain. See, I can't. If this was ever a show on that we would produce on YouTube, you would just see the way I say Dean Cain. It's almost with disdain for a child, almost like a childhood figure of mine.
Yes,
right. Were you a big
Terry
fan?
Hatcher was so hot.
She was. I know one of the episodes I remember watching was when Terry Hatcher went behind the curtain and undressed, and I was like 9. I was like, oh.
How do you do? And I'm older, so I probably watched that when I was like 18. Yeah. Thought the same thing.
But then in my mind, it's like, what's the point of the cloth? You know, he could see through it, right?
Yep.
So wait, were you a big fan of the Lois and Clark show?
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, have you ever seen an episode from like back then now?
It's been a long time since I've seen any, so
it's pretty corny.
Yeah.
But Terry Hatcher was really pretty in this one. And then she had to go and ruin it for me because she was on Cougar Town or something like that. Was it Housewives or whatever? With Ava Longoria.
Oh, yes.
Desperate Housewives?
Desperate Housewives.
Yeah. I was like, oh no, my childhood crush.
Yeah.
Never mind.
She did a couple, between the two, she did a couple, let's show a lot of nudity movies.
I mean, that's how you get out of the small screen, right?
Right.
Only to end up.
And she was a pretty decent actress. She's been in some movies that I can't think of right now that I thought were pretty good.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I think that's like always like one of the best things, but also like one of the curses of like having iconic roles.
Right.
You know, I remember in an interview, I think Jennifer Aniston was talking about trying to get out of the shadow of what is Rachel Green of Friends.
Yeah.
I mean,
I feel like Joey would have had a very difficult part playing anything but Joey.
Well, I think I think Matt LeBlanc he went to do Broadway stuff.
Oh, okay.
So,
okay.
Because I always wonder, I was like, man, what happened after Joey? And then I looked it up, and he's just he became a Broadway actor.
Right.
That way, you know, he could be appreciated on the stage, and then people could see him outside of the Joey limelight. Yeah. You know, who else? I think
Courtney Cox did a lot of stuff.
Yeah, but then man, she really nicked her face a lot. Because like, I mean, if you look, I mean, you know, I'm just saying, like, for me, like, Courtney Cox, when like at the beginning of Friends, was like, wow, and then, you know, and then when I saw her in Cougar Town, I was like, oh wow, she kind of overdid the plastic. I think a lot of people have that issue though, you know, like maybe it's just like they have an issue with like how they grow old.
Right.
I mean, you know, if you look at Jennifer Aniston, she still looks so hot. Like in Horrible Bosses.
Right?
I had a fear boner throughout that whole thing. Throughout all of her scenes. She is just sexually harassing. Was it Charlie Day? I think that's who she was harassing. It was so weird. Yeah. Lisa Kudrow still looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, and she was like the oldest out of all the Friends.
Right.
And you know, I think, you know, she just kept it pretty natural, and it's cool because all of them did show up on her show Cougar Town, like Matt LeBlanc and all that stuff. Sorry, we're just
a weird spinoff of this movie, but
we're going off Terry Hatcher. That's why.
Oh, but yeah.
Terry Hatcher didn't look that bad though. Like when I think about it from Real Housewives, but then when you put her next to like Ava Longoria, just new hotness.
That is true.
And then she got cheated on by Tony Parker, French bastard. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode and our little rant towards the end of this episode. Hope you guys tune in next week for the new topic of the month.
Right.
Which we really never expose it because we pre-record all of this stuff.
Right. And we don't know what order we're putting them in.
If you guys have any themes that you want us to do, all of our contact is down below, the DM or our Twitter, so you can slide into the DMs. Our emails are down there, so you could go ahead and email us if you guys want, and if you guys want us to do anything.
Sure. And always give us a like, give us a share.
Review us on all of your podcasting apps.
Yeah. Request our address so you can send us a check. Whatever.
Tubi, I don't know. You guys can start sponsoring us.
Right. Totina's Pizza Rolls.
Oh, man. Those delicious pockets of heaven.
So good.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. My name is Barry.
And this is Colby.
And this is Who Watches This. If you guys want to check out who does our theme music, it is Lee Rosevere. It's called Arcade Montage, and her Bandcamp is down below.
Thank you.